Welcome to Nolver. Today we are stepping into a world where true wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. We are unlocking the vault on one of the most guarded secrets in fashion history, the silent luxury. How a simple saddle bag conquered the world. Before the world knew it as the Kelly bag, it belonged to a completely different world. No red carpets, no waiting lists, no fashion mythology, just a leather bag designed for horse riding equipment. And maybe that's the real secret of luxury. The greatest luxury objects rarely begin as status symbols. They begin with quality. The story of the Kelly bag starts in Paris in 1837 when Thierry Hermès founded the House of Hermes. At the time, the brand had nothing to do with fashion. Hermes created saddles, harnesses, and leather equipment for Europe's aristocratic horse riders. But what made Hermes different wasn't just leather, it was obsession. Obsession with craftsmanship, obsession with durability, obsession with detail, and that obsession eventually became the DNA of one of the quietest, yet most powerful symbols of luxury in the world. In the late 19th century, Hermès designed a large structured leather bag called the Oua Crua. It was originally created to carry riding equipment. Functional, durable, and architectural in shape, it looked more like a professional tool than a fashion accessory. But the world was changing. By the 1920s and 1930s, aristocratic life in Europe was becoming more modern and urban. Women wanted something different. A bag that could feel elegant, practical, and powerful at the same time. And this was the moment Hermès made one of its smartest decisions, turning a functional object into desire. In the 1930s, Robert Dumas introduced a more refined and feminine version of those equestrian bags. The result was a structured handbag with a trapezoid silhouette, a top handle, leather straps, and the now famous signature lock. At the time, it was called the sac à dépêche, but it was still missing one thing, a story. And that story arrived in 1956. Grace Kelly, Hollywood actress and future Princess of Monaco, was photographed by paparazzi while using the bag to hide her pregnancy from cameras. And with that single image, everything changed. Suddenly, people were no longer looking at just a handbag. They were looking at elegance, control, mystery, quiet power. That was the moment the bag stopped being a product and became a myth. Years later, Hermès officially renamed the bag Kelly in her honor. And maybe the most fascinating part is this: it happened without social media, without massive advertising campaigns, without influencer marketing. Just one image was enough. Because the greatest luxury brands never sell products alone. They sell emotion. But what kept the Kelly legendary wasn't just its story, it was the way it was made. Every Kelly bag is crafted by a single artisan from beginning to end. One person, one bag. Some models take more than 20 hours to complete. The edges are hand-painted. The stitching is done by hand. Every metal piece is carefully installed with precision. In a world obsessed with speed, the Kelly was designed differently. It was never made for rushing. Maybe that's why even opening its lock feels ceremonial. Its trapezoid shape, structured silhouette, leather straps, and signature hardware make the Kelly instantly recognizable without needing oversized logos or loud branding. And that's exactly what makes Hermès so powerful. Its confidence is quiet. While many luxury brands try to display wealth loudly, the Kelly feels more like a secret language. Something instantly understood only by certain people. Hermès even turned scarcity into part of the myth. By the 1990s and 2000s, buying a Kelly bag was no longer just about money. It became about access. Waiting lists grew longer. Colors became more limited. Loyal customers received priority, and suddenly people were no longer competing to buy a handbag. They were competing to enter a world. That's the moment the Kelly transcended fashion and became social symbolism. Today, some rare Kelly bags sell for extraordinary prices at auctions, especially exotic versions made from crocodile leather or limited seasonal colors. But the truth is, people are not only paying for leather. They're paying for story, for rarity, for identity, for the feeling the bag gives them. And maybe that's why, after decades, the Kelly still doesn't feel outdated. Because the Kelly bag was never really about fashion. It's about how a small saddle-making workshop transformed itself into one of the most powerful luxury houses in the world. And maybe that's the biggest lesson behind the Kelly. True luxury is rarely the loudest thing in the room. Sometimes the quietest things hold the most power. Every iconic object carries a story. Today we explored one of the most fascinating in fashion history. Thank you for being part of this journey. If you have a thought, a memory, or a perspective to share, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And if stories like these speak to you, consider subscribing and joining us for the next chapter. Until then, take care.